Yeah, but like throughout the galleries that we were seeing, it came to my mind that galleries just giving an exhibition, they are just maybe a, how would I put it, like a middle part, like something like agency, like an agency for flats. They're not the owners. So who owns it?
Yeah.
Artists, audience.
And like obviously we have a clear understanding of like our views on it, but we didn't want that to like influence the art. Like we weren't anti the artist wanting to sell it. We're not saying that they shouldn't be able to, but we just wanted to look at a new way to understand or perceive the ownership.
Yeah.
Because we didn't think that it seemed that legitimate.
A what?
Legitimate, like the ownership of the art didn't feel full.
Yeah.
We still believe that the artists still had some form of ownership over the art even after they've sold it.
Yep, for sure.
And we kind of wanted to explore that as an idea.
And yeah, so that's the part where the psychological ownership came up, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And like we said in the presentation, I think maybe it was a bit of a funny thing for us to think about, because maybe we thought that we couldn't own art. So maybe this was our sad attempt in trying to
own ourselves, our art.
Exactly.
Yep.
We wanted to own some art, and we had to figure out a way to get it. So
we actually both have experience over ownership of art piece. For you, you have tattoos, and you said, I don't feel I own it.
yeah.
Like, for me, I made music myself. At first time, I felt I own it, but like after the release, people around me starts talking about my music more than me, and they like make analysis. Like back in my country, my friends were like critique. They were like, "Oh, I like that bass, but I don't like that feelings of drums." So they think they own more of they have more understandings over my music. I don't find it offensive at all, because that's exactly what we were aiming for, the psychological ownership, right?
Yeah. Because you want people to be passionate about your music. I guess my question to you was always like, your fans, if they had more passion for your music and they liked your music more than you did, what gives you the right to say that it's not theirs? If it means more to them, it affects them more, then haha, it's not yours.
Haha, it's not yours. And like those, in terms of those psychological ownerships, we were giving some words about it. Like, remember, passion, as in terms of desire. Yep. If the artist loses passions from his earlier works, and maybe like other people appreciate and want more of his earlier works, but the same artist doesn't work on that level. He changes his style. He always goes in a different way, tries a different way. So the fans of the earlier works could be the owners possessing of their earlier works, and that also goes with the time too, right?
Yeah, no, I think definitely at the start I think it was easier for us to understand the psychological ownership if we broke it down into different areas, whether it was passion or time.
Yep. So that's like our way of perceiving ownerships in very how would I put it, like how would I put it? Yeah, in our own way of perceiving.
Yeah, it was something that was understandable.
Yeah, but I think people can acknowledge those words by themselves also. I really do.
No, of course, yeah. And so that was sort of our intention behind the artwork to represent these sort of psychological understandings of art ownership.
So that's like basically the backgrounds of our.
That's the background. So yeah, we wanted to convince people to think about the ownership of art in a different way.
Like when the word ownership comes up, people start to think about the money and the copyrights, but we want to change that way of perception into like a
somewhat different.
Yeah, somewhat different, psychologically way. Passion, time, sharing experience.
I think intention.
Memory, yeah, intention.
Performance.
Maybe act of doing the art. Yeah, that was like the whole start.
I guess the piece itself, we took a 3D scan of one of the galleries.
Actually, like, we didn't knew what we were gonna exactly do at the first time, right?
Yeah.
Like when we first 3D scanned the galleries, we didn't knew what was gonna come out.
Yeah, we knew we wanted to sort of break it down.
Yeah. All we had in mind was to break it down.
Yeah.
And like.
Sort of deconstruct.
Yeah, deconstruct it. That was like the whole starting point.
That was the starting point.
Yeah, deconstruct gallery in our way.
Yeah.
Since we're architecture students, maybe, I don't know. Does that count because we're architecture students? I don't know, but like, yeah, no. Yeah, it's our own way of perceiving.
Yeah, and sort of this deconstruction kind of helped us to sort of perceive what
a gallery was.
Yeah. It broke down. Oh my god.
Yeah.
If we could change the perception of what a gallery was, then maybe we can change the perception of how it's owned, or even the other way. You know, if we change the perception of how art is owned, then maybe people will understand galleries in a different way.
Yep.
So I think
that was the throughout our work process, we figured it out that in way of deconstructing this art piece and of space and galleries, that could be our representing way of changing the perception of ownership, right? Yeah, I think we slowly we found it out on our ways.
Yeah. There's also painting over the top.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the painting?
Yes, we did a painting. Like, actually, this was like this is like a conversation of ourselves too. This work in representing. You were the one who came up with the idea of deconstructing this 3D scan gallery into a digitalized way. So in terms of talking about digitals, I wanted to add some analogs over it. Yep. So this was like a dialogue between us, this work. Okay. Exactly. Okay. What I felt during the paintings was like sort of collapsed emotions of how would I put it, like trying to decay the galleries down.
Okay.
Yeah, but like we did it in a digital way.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do it in an analog way with acrylic paintings.
Yeah.
I wanted to connect and connect and deform it.
I think what for me was strong about the painting too was just kind of to establish the connection between these kind of new understandings of art ownership. I think to say that they're all separated is wrong. I think it's all involved with each other. So I think it was a nice way to tie it all together.
Really? Yep. Yeah, remember like when we first like positioned these pieces into a one sheet.
Yeah, because we originally had like a grid of
we were into doing it to a grid, but
and then you were
that was like
let's overlay.
Yeah, let's put them over each other.
Which made sense, I think.
Yeah. Because like putting those actually I came up with the thought of like putting those into a formal grid way is like that's not changing the perception of ourselves about the gallery.
It looks like a gallery.
It looks like a gallery. We wanted these pieces very unrecognizable, right? Yep, that's what we wanted. So yeah, that's another reason why we positioned it in this way.
Yeah, I guess our point was to hopefully change people's perception of the ownership of art.
What you feel about the painting? Like during my paintings,
I want you to paint more. I think it would be.
Should I?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, actually, for like I could explain the touches of it. Like I made this round touches to the end and in the middle of connections, right? That was like sort of my anxieties of like questioning myself about like, is it okay to connect these images into a one form? Is that what we want? That was like an anxiety for me. But like after it, after I changed my colors through it, it became clear about that's what we wanted. Yeah, that was the thought I had in mind during So like these like rounded edges are like that's like my anxiety.
Yeah, cool.
But that made me to make this gallery of my own, and it's not even a gallery anymore now. Yeah, it's not even a gallery. It's like this is our passion. This is our sharing experience. This is our time and acting of. Yeah, I think like even right now it's getting clearer and clearer.
I feel like this was kind of like our representation of putting in these new forms that we kind of discussed, like the psychological ownership of art. We kind of wanted to embrace those different areas and kind of put those into whether we call it an artwork or an image, or like we wanted to represent that through this image. Something in which, whether we're like talking about, like you're saying, your anxieties in the painting, it kind of gives you that strong ownership over the image itself, which we thought was quite important.
I would say
I wouldn't say that anyone owns this more than we do.
Yep. I would say
although
like
who owns it more between us?
That's another thing. That's another thing.
I mean, that was my paper originally.
Okay.
So,
that was your paper, but yep.
Well, your paint.
I got a paint.
Although someone owns the sticky tape. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know.
We'll figure that out. I guess we own it more now, don't we?
But this thing also changes after the jury, like after we present it to audience. Yeah. Like remember, like who said it? I don't know. Somebody told us that they really liked it, and like they wanted to know all the background informations and all the context of this piece. I don't remember, but like someone told me that. So yeah, maybe that's the reason why we're filming this. And
okay. I'm happy if you're happy.
I think
I was kind of hoping more people would walk past. For that dog.
Dog, yep. I think, yep.
Gang.
Gang. That's about it, right?
That's about it.
That's about it. How long have we been talking? Okay. We can